Hi, I'm Mr. Healthy Love, your dating and relationship coach for guys to make meaningful relationships. And today I'm going to talk about the subtle differences that make the difference when dating a woman. Now, a mistake that a lot of guys make when they really like a woman is that they have an eagerness to give their best first impression. And if you want that other person to really like you back, you start behaving in a way that you wouldn't normally do if she were anybody else. So the main root of what we're going to continue to come back and talk about today is your focus. Because if you're able to master this, a lot of your problems when it comes to attracting the woman that you really like will dissolve. I think this is one of the biggest factors that comes into play if you're one of those guys that does well with women who you're not that into, but when you really like a girl, you feel like you seem to care too much or act in a different way than you normally would. And it's all rooted in focusing so much on that person that you lose your direction and focus in some way. So there are 3 factors and tips to this. And tip number 1 is the ability to be mysterious. So when you focus too much on a woman, she is going to notice that and realize that your focus is too much on her and not enough on yourself and what you're trying to achieve in your life. Guys that make this mistake of focusing too much on her also tend to focus on showing how much she means to them and how much they like her. Now, this may sound a little bit strange to say you shouldn't tell her how much you like her, but in the initial dating stage, a woman wants to get to know you, but also have the time and space to figure out how much you're into her. And if your focus is fully engaged on her, she knows just from that you're really into her, and in turn, she's going to start taking your attention for granted and valuing you less. So it's really important to get that balance right where you don't show her too much attention, but at the same time, you're not too aloof. And the way you can do this is by giving her your full attention when you are with her or talking to her on the phone by being present. But when you're busy in your own life, turn your focus onto that. Because guys who have their focus primarily on the woman when they are not with them are going to show signs of this by over texting, responding too much on social media to them, or being available whenever the woman wants them to meet. It's a subtle difference, but let's say she's available on a Friday, but you have already set plans with your friends. It's okay to tell her that you're busy instead of rearranging those plans just to be with her. Even if you were busy by chance the entire weekend, make plans for early the next week. A lot of guys are too concerned with how it would look if they can't open up their diary to arrange a time that a woman wants. But that in itself of being busy shows to her that your focus is on your life and not focusing too much on hers. So she's going to realize that your time is valuable, and if she wants more of it, then she is going to want to earn enough value in your eyes for you to want to give her more of your time. Taking you or your time for granted is only going to cause her to value you less. So this coincides with tip number 2, which is make sure that she needs to work to gain more of your attention. Don't always respond immediately to her texts. And that's not because you're playing some kind of game in some way. It's because you genuinely are focused on what you're doing and your day-to-day goals in life. So you don't have to just drop everything that you're doing just because you receive a text from her. A guy who is centered and his primary focus is what he's trying to achieve in his life isn't going to put her as his focal point. Because the more time you spend going out with her, the higher the proportion of your time she's going to want. Women crave your attention when they're attracted to you. So as she starts developing an emotional connection with you, the more of your presence she's going to want from you. But she wants to earn your time as opposed to be given it without any kind of sign that your time is valuable to you. One of the most valuable things you can give someone is your time. And by that, I don't just mean you being physically present, but emotionally present too. So when you're with her, you should be giving 100% of your time and presence to be with her. That's such a crucial thing because women can feel when you are present. And there is nothing more attractive in a man than one who is entirely focused on them on a date. So when you do reply, she's going to feel excited that you are giving some of your time to respond to her, as opposed to replying all the time immediately as if you have nothing better to be doing. Now, tip number 3, being unpredictable. Remember this: if she's never too sure where she stands with you, she will think of you as a challenge. So if you meet up with her every Saturday and she knows the weekly routine and she hangs out with you and you watch movies together, that might be interesting to her for a while. But if you don't change things up and do spontaneous things, or should I say, she feels that there is some spontaneity, you can plan and set up different dates. In fact, it's always good to have a plan so that the date goes smoothly. But she can feel as if it's something you've spontaneously organized to do. Because you don't have to tell her everything that you plan on doing. By holding back your plan and letting it unfold without her knowing everything makes it feel spontaneous and exciting to her. So you can organize a date and set it up for a few days' time instead of immediately or the same time that you normally meet every week. And she can have that time to look forward to the date, which builds the attraction towards you. She can then speak to her girlfriends and get excited because she doesn't know what to expect from you. And this is a key factor which makes you stand out from the rest of the guys who don't really have a plan, who are predictable and are kind of boring. If you don't switch things up with anybody, it is human nature to find a regular pattern in something and predict the future with how someone's behaving. But if you are quite unpredictable and can suddenly change how you go about doing things, she will always feel that you keep her on her toes, and that is exciting to women. Their day-to-day life is predictable and boring as it is, and they want to date a guy who can give that suspense and create that anticipation so that they look forward to meeting up with you. So I hope you found this video valuable, and tell me what you like to do to be spontaneous, and leave it in the comment below. Or leave a comment if you have any input or questions on this, and hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want more videos like this one that you can be notified on. And if you need any one-to-one coaching, you can book an email or telephone coaching session online on my website at mrhalfilove.com. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.